I remember we were sitting at the kitchen table, in the dark, and I finally just said it. Do you still love me? My voice was cracking as I nervously weaved back and forth in my chair. I had just taken a long, deep, pained breath, set my heart out on the table, and bared my deepest longings to reconnect. And she was just staring at her hands without any sign of emotion, only indifference. Well, after a pause that seemed like an eternity, I thought she was going to say something, but then her gaze would slowly drop again. Finally, she looked up and, in a soft, flat voice, said, "I'm tired. I think I might go visit my family." And the truth is, I think I might have preferred that she got angry and said, "I hate you and I'm miserable in this marriage." There's a soul-crushing, hopeless emptiness that develops in your stomach when you love someone who doesn't seem to love you back anymore. And the worst part, you can't understand how that's even possible. You just want to scream through the tears. Don't you feel anything? How does everything we've been through now count for nothing? And it's like they become another person. And the worst part is you can remember the person they used to be. Well, you try everything. You tell them you love them. You vow to change and become who they want you to be, even though you aren't really sure who that is. And you apologize again and again for the mistakes that you've made. You promise you'll never hurt them again, but nothing seems to get through. And it feels like your whole world is slipping through your fingers. Looking back now, I should have seen it coming. I should have known by the look on her face that night, 3 years earlier. It was one of those relationship-defining moments. You know those moments when everything changes forever? The moments that become reference points for the rest of our lives, where we can easily separate the before and after. For Katie and I, it was December 14, 2001. That was the night I crushed her spirit. It was the night I held my new baby girl for the first time, yet while I adored my precious baby girl, my wife sat across from me, humiliated and demoralized. The thing is, Katie wasn't the mother of my child, and we were sitting in another woman's home. I will never forget the look on her face. It wasn't sadness. We were beyond that. It was something else. It was something more like despair. Something like that numbness that lingers when there are no more tears left to cry. We hadn't been married that long, but now the joys of our fairy tale wedding and the plans that we had now seemed like a dream forgotten. I can still remember her sweet smile as she looked up at me through that wedding veil with more love and adoration than I had ever known from a woman. She pledged her life to me that day. She pledged her love and her dreams of starting a family to me. She wanted a baby more than anything, and God knows we tried. We tried fertility treatments, home remedies, all kinds of crazy stuff, and you name it, we tried it. Then we got pregnant, only to suffer a miscarriage. We were heartbroken. Now here we were, and I was holding my precious baby girl in my arms, and my wife was sitting across from me, eyes dull and lifeless, yet every once in a while smiling politely as if desperately trying to mask the humiliation. Well, after that night, we tried to move on. I got visitation of my daughter, and Katie did her best. She even helped me take care of her. But you could still see the brokenness in her face. For a while, it seemed like we were doing okay. We had children of our own and a successful business. But when you go through such gut-wrenching, soul-killing emotional trauma, the pain takes root, and the bitterness, well, it grows like a cancer that you don't even know is there. And so we just grew apart until it was like we were just roommates. We hardly ever spoke, and when we did, it was just business. We were almost never intimate. We were headed straight for divorce. Imagine a couple driving down a winding mountain road and their brakes go out. The car is picking up speed as the driver frantically struggles to keep it on the road. A curb becomes too tight and they lose control. And when the car finally comes to a stop, it's resting dangerously halfway off a cliff, teetering back and forth as if it could fall at any moment. The driver sits there motionlessly because he knows that one wrong move could send them to their death.